Oh, God.
Maserati.
I feel prepared to take this one as well.
As a former Maserati owner.
Maserati, yeah, as a former, and I'm good with keeping that as former. A former Maserati owner, Stellantis and or whoever reports these things, sales were down 57% year over year. They sold more than or less than half of the cars they sold the previous year. And the previous year wasn't good either. So things are not looking good here.
They had new products.
Well, they do have a new Gran Turismo and an MC20, but they've got rid of all the SUVs.
The Grecale, it was still for
The
sale in
Grecale is
2024.
bad.
I know, but that was new.
It's bad.
That was new
He's
in
gone.
24.
Is QP
They don't have the excuse that their lineup is aging like Jaguar, where they're like, we just haven't tried anything for 10 years.
Right.
Like, they're trying.
They have some new products, but keep in mind, this is so laughably overpriced. This has to be the most overpriced car, maybe in the entire history of the automotive industry.
It's up there.
It's up there with the UAB and Puma. That is a deep cut. Figure it out.
Yeah.
This car is probably $150,000 more expensive than it should be. And Nick's over here saying that car costs over $150,000.
The Puma.
Well, it's so
It's a
true because
$250,000 car.
I was just in Florida for 2 weeks, and there you see Gran Turismos everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's because they couldn't get into a Ferrari,
Yeah.
and they wanted that prestige, but for the cheap. Now that the Roma and the Gran Turismo are like same ballpark, who on earth would buy the
that
Stellantis over the Ferrari?
The Gran Turismo is still cheaper, but not so much,
Not much.
cheaper. And also,
If they're both over 200, then like,
well, the
forget it.
Romas are about $3. This is cheaper, but you also know what's going to happen when
Yep.
you buy this,
Yeah.
which is that tomorrow it will be worth $1,100 at a trade-in at
Yes.
a dealership in
Yes.
Florida. This is a valueless car. It is a bad, valueless car, which is how Maserati makes their vehicles, except the MC20, which is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
The real story,
Yeah.
by the way, is that Ferrari outsold
Yep.
Maserati, which is
Wow.
unbelievable because Maserati's the volume brand that's supposed to it's like the Honda to their Acura. Imagine if Acura outsold Honda.
Right. I
It's
wish
just
Ken were here.
terrible, terrible, terrible situation for Maserati because they make bad cars. They bastardize their lineup. They bastardize their lineup by radically increasing volume, trying to go after these SUVs, which didn't really sell. Lease payments, lease deals, and
Yep.
this is what you get when that happens.
I'm still stuck on the fact that they in 2024 released a new small SUV. The small luxury SUV segment is the hottest segment, and they still have how do you?
It's
fail
overpriced
that much.
It's overpriced, and people don't trust that brand. They know
get it.
depreciation is crazy. As a result, lease deals can't be what they need to be.
Yep.
And nobody wants to buy these things. It's laughable. And the car's too expensive to begin with. All the Maseratis are too expensive to begin with. They think they can trade on their brand name, but what they're forgetting is their brand name is destroyed because they destroyed it.
Yeah.
And their CEO said we're not gonna get rid of the brand no matter how bad it gets. We're gonna stick with it. But that is what every CEO says right before they get rid of the brand.
No, the Maserati brand is too valuable to get rid of, too valuable, but they can't.
They got to pivot.
They got to change.
They need to take a leap year like Jaguar and just find themselves.
They have to find themselves.
Not a leap year.
A gap year.
A gap year.
They need to be a ski instructor.
Maybe a leap year too.
They need to go to
Couple years.
Eldora and be a ski instructor
By the way,
taking lift
EV.
tickets.
Some ketamine.
This is an EV.
Yeah.
That's true. But it's 700 some horsepower and still nobody's interested. I tell you, I've only seen maybe 3 of these new Gran Turismos. The car's dead in the water.
I saw a couple in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah. They looked.
That's like a
It's probably at
half
100
their
off.
sales. That
It was one of those cars you see and you like pat yourself on the back like, wow, I know cars so well I can tell them apart.
And meanwhile, the original came out in 2009.
Yeah.
Like,
I know.
they're
It's insane.
It's insane.
You
that
had a
they're-
beautiful red one on the site recently, or maybe it's still
It's
live.
still on and it's beautiful.
And I would take that over the new one.
Totally.
Like just
because it's going to sell for 30. Pull this thing up.
if that, yeah. I mean, no offense to the seller, but
It's a
they
low
don't bring
mile
big
car
money.
though. It's a low mile car and
It's so cool.
It's gorgeous.
This is a really cool car. The difference is this one's going to sell for 30. The other one is 250.
Yeah.
They look the same and don't perform that differently
Yeah.
either. Yikes, of a brand. Yikes of a brand.
Indeed.
Okay, next news story.
They did just drop a new merch line, and it's like targeted at Gen Z. Like it is the most. It's like a T-shirt that's $75, and like has some like hipster
The
thing
brand
that like
has
no
no
one would
value.
understand.
The concept that they think
Yeah.
people are going to buy merch, the brand has no value. I'd be
bought merch.
embarrassed to
Yeah.
walk around. He wore it ironically because he bought a Maserati for $17,000.
The irony that Polo I bought for $90 from North Sales in Maserati, it fell apart after 3 weeks, which is so indicative of the brand. Like just trash all around. They can't even make a Polo.
Do you think that Kennan's going to go to Maserati now that Ferrari is doing too much volume? Maserati,
Oh,
smaller
yeah.
volume manufacturer.
We should say,
something to consider.
Ferrari's the big brand, but Maserati is for the real enthusiast. Maybe that's what they should lean into. If you've been watching my videos for a long time, you'll remember I used to take my cars to CarMax to see what they'd offer me as a trade-in value. These videos were fun and popular as they would often give me a wildly inaccurate number for the cars. Submit your cool car to Cars and Bids in just a few minutes, and you'll be connected with an auction manager from my team who will help your car go live on Cars and Bids, where you'll get way more money for your car than trading it in to a big box dealer. Look at how much these cars sold for on Cars and Bids compared to their trade-in value. Here's a trade-in offer, and this is the Cars and Bids result. Here's a trade-in value and the Cars and Bids result. And this was a trade-in value, and this was the Cars and Bids result. Get started now and sell your car on carsandbids.com.